Welcome, everybody, to the start of a new era for ABN competition. The ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series begins tonight. It's the 2023 ABN Daytona 300. The start of something magical. I'm Carmen alongside me, as always, Kevin Young. To bring action from Daytona International Speedway, we've gone retro. It's Gen 4's Bumpy Daytona. It's been a wonderful 3 weeks, but it all culminates to this. Kevin, this is a driver's track. It's not the smooth, super bump drafty play track. You have to be a little bit with finesse at this track. Kind of walk through what we're going to be expecting tonight.
Well, I think if you were personally here for the 3 weeks ago on Wednesday for the 100th in-house event ABN Showdown, that was at Bumpy Daytona. Actually, it was at regular Daytona with these cars. Then you have the qualifying and the duels just last week. It's a situation where if you've seen both those, you kind of can already know what to expect. But if you're new here to turn around, you're going to see momentum is going to be the key name of the game here. You're going to have to pick your lines, know when to run, and that inside line is going to be a holding lane. That's going to be where you gain positions and come down and hold, while that high line is going to be for making moves and trying to get your way to the front. And the thing is, we've seen during Heat 2, Joshua gave him an example, you can get up quite quickly if you know what you're doing. So as you said, it's a driver's track. So if you're starting back, it's not a sin here. You can easily get to the front if you know what you're doing and can really make moves to the front. But the problem is, with no fast pairs in these drivers' pockets, they're going to have to be smart and safe if they want to end up at the end of this race and a chance to win.
40 cars make up the largest field in ABN history to date. And it's Bradley Wright who starts the race from pole position. The Bandit Racing driver starts this field alongside the 80 of Christina Ryan. Tommy Withers and Rudy Valentine make up row number 2. Then it's Emily Howe and Blake Henderson in row 3. You'll see drivers with the R in parentheses. They are rookies in this series, part of the ABN Cup Series rookie class. Matthew Kemp, one of those rookies, the highest qualifying rookie, starting 7th alongside Tristan Catania. John Hagan and Caitlin Height sitting in row 5. Very power-packed row 5. Hagan, very impressive on his first 2 weeks here in ABN. Caitlin Height, the HTL championship leader for most of the season so far. Let's see what she can do from the top 10 on the grid. Ruby Acosta and Alfred Denny in row number 6. And as we look on further down, we are going to see cars begin to roll. Toby Estes, Nick Pressey in row 7. Jerry Breo and Cassandra Winkelbauer in row number 8. Lily Pelletier Sharp and Ryan Pinnell sit in row 9, then row 10, rounding up the top 20. Top half of this field is marked off by Josh Gaiman and Elrich George. Chris Constantinou and Kevin Feemster make up row 11, with Callie Height and Judith Cooper making up row number 12. As we continue to roll down through the grid here, you see the cars beginning to roll off. It's Emma Kruger and Taylor Mills in row 13, row 14, Selena Thompson and David Wright. Bobby Blowers and James Wright make up row 15 ahead of Zach McBride and Bryce Saucier. Then we start seeing drivers that did not race in the duels in this event. Steven Oberstadt and James Gutta make up row number 17. Selena Ward and Amity Polsatrix sit in row number 18. Row 19, as we look further on down, it's Olivia Hayward and Ben Choate, with Lilac Sear rounding out the final row of the grid on her own here this evening. 39 cars. History in the making. This is going to be a blast. The duels last week had 1 caution. It was in Duel 2. Duel 1 went caution-free. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that first caution comes out. Over-under by ABN Analytics was 9.5 cautions tonight. A lot of drivers kind of split. Do they want to pick the over or under? It's 120 laps, 300 miles here at Daytona. And as was said in the drivers' meeting, the very prolonged drivers' meeting, you can't be a hero in the first 110 laps. It's the last 10 that matter the most. Pace car takes the hard left in the pit lane. The green flag is out. And the Daytona 300 is underway. Already trouble on the start. It's a car spun in the grass. But we stay green. Everything's sorting itself out as we roll through. Emily Howe trying to work with, believe, if I have that right, that should be the 23 of Tommy Withers. It is the 23 of Tommy Withers, but the outside lane right now is Christina Ryan and Rudy Valentine cooking with Henderson third in line.
Ryan just hit the wall a little bit. You saw that 48 just kind of went up just a bit, trying to scrub a bit speed off and tap the wall just a bit. Now, what caused, listening through radio chatter and kind of looking back to see what caused that incident on lap 1, it was a bit of a checkup on the inside lane, and in turn kind of affected an accordion effect. One car ended up ruining the day on that one, but we still rang on. One car elected to start from the pit lane. That is a 21, Kevin Feemster, and he is hoping for maybe a quick caution here before it becomes a problem when the field is high speeds. You see right up front right away, Christina Ryan leading that train. She has the option to come down if she so chooses. She's going to stay high for at the moment, but she looks like she's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place out of 3 and 4, thinking about the lane she may want to take. But now she's stuck to that high line. She's got to stay behind Valentine, which I think she may feel a little bit more comfortable with than coming down on Catania in the 48. But like I said in the pre-race, that inside line is going to be the holding lane. The outside line is your move lane. And that outside line, if it can easily lose momentum, as we've also explained during the duels previously, is that you don't use the side panels to pull a car back to try to draft up ahead. You use it to try to give yourself a bit of a speed boost, and that's really all you can side draft for. You're not pulling someone back. You're just trying to use it to go a little bit faster and try to stay side by side here. You can already see that inside line losing a bit of momentum, but you can see right there, Valentine's going to jump low. Wants to take a chance on the inside line, and they are going to be both side by Valentine and Ryan are going to be side by side. The lead lap 3, and Valentine will lead the lap for 4.
Everyone beginning to settle in a little bit. Still 2 by 2. You're going to see this ebb and flow. We saw this ebb and flow until the first round of pit stops. Pit window supposed to be between 30 and 35 laps tonight. Obviously, we're going to see what that's going to end up kind of entailing as everyone sort of jives and gels. Right now, it is full steam ahead. Everyone knows they've got a pretty easy 3-stop race if this thing stays green start to finish.
Well, it's going to be interesting because for the cars leading the front of the pack right now in Ryan and Valentine, they're going to get a little bit less fuel economy just because they're the front of the train. They're not going to be able to save as much. And we know the window's 30, 35. It's comfortable 3-stop, but if you're full throttle or you're in a situation where you can't save all that much and lift like currently with Christina Ryan, our current leader, then you may be close to 30, and it's going to be a bit comfortable to try to get it on a 3-stop, but you're still going to have to save at least a little bit. So 3-stop, very comfortable, but things can happen. And one more thing we'll have to keep a note of when that pit stop window opens. We saw during the duels, at least 3 to 4 drivers got busted for speeding. So you got to make sure your gauges are correctly checked, and you can get the car woed down without spinning it out coming into the pit lane. All right, look at that. You can see the 83 of Howe going to split the middle here, and the 17 is just going to have to try to hang. Henderson also on that third groove right now. A little bit of a checkup there with the 20, the 83, and the Henderson, and it looks like they'll get it all sorted, but a little bit of aggressive move by the 83 to make it 3 wide, and it will work out for her, but at the disaffection of both Henderson and Alfred Denny.
A lot of movers and shakers so far early in this contest. Christina Ryan and Rudy Valentine lead the way. That's a car driving back. That's the 29 of Bradley Wright. That's 20 of Bradley Wright, excuse me.
Yep. Our pole sitter saw that, what was just happening in his mirror, and he was like, I'm not taking a risk here. No fast repairs. I'm not wrecking out here on
there's trouble.
pits. We have a caution. And that's Gaiman.
And that's more than just Gaiman. That is several cars involved. Gaiman still drifting through the grass. Several cars in it. And I wondered what was going to happen with Bradley Wright trying to drop all the way back. Seemed like a pretty late move.
Yeah, you don't usually see it that early. If you see a drop back, it happens early on. So caution number 1 on lap 7 of this race.
And it gives us a chance to kind of talk about some things.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to see what happened to this caution to begin with. We know that Josh Gaiman was a part of it.
I will say, looking back, I see 40 got the worst of it, Breo as well. We'll take a look, but it didn't have anything to do with Breo.
So we'll look here. So there's Bradley Wright in the 20. He's dropping back. So I wonder if this is a bad bump.
Yeah, you're going to see that pink and white car, the 40. It's just going to come up, and
oh, that's not even on the 40. That is the 41 of Taylor Mills trying to put it 3 wide, and it does not work out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Gaiman gets a piece of it. That was right behind Judith Cooper. Breo's obviously got a piece of it. Bradley Wright had to check up in a hurry. And that could have been a way, way worse situation. Obviously, a terrible start of the season for Ruby Acosta. Mm-hmm. Queen's design driver already in trouble.
Yeah, 4 to 5 machines there already got some good damage. Obviously, the 40 got the worst of it. And it may be curtains for her. If she can get the car fixed, though, it's definitely not going to be the most competitive. But right now, we're an opening window here for pit stops. Most cars electing to come in and take this first stop here. Only a few. I think actually none have really stayed out, if my graph is correct. So everyone taking this pit stop, some for damage, others for service. And we'll see if anyone maybe takes an off strategy sequence here, maybe to get some track position. It looks like Bobby Blowers is going to be actually going to be one of the first cars out of pit lane here. But yeah, some will do stay out, though, so.
So to kind of walk through things, for those that are unfamiliar with the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series, no Thatch repairs, no green-white checkers. 2 very important facets of modern stock car racing that are completely gone from the occasion here. There is a chase system, the chase for the championship, but it is not a win and you're in. You have to have points. It's the top 12 points that go into the chase at the end of the regular season. So it's very, very important to start the season off right. 185 points on offer for a race win. You do the math. It's a pretty big deal. There's another big caveat to this. Incident points. There's a bonus for being perfect. 0 incident points. There's a bonus of 20 points. Across 12 races, that's 240 points. That is an extra race worth of points. And then some for drivers that are able to be perfect all season long. That's the extra challenge these drivers have to kind of put into. And obviously some drivers already on the wrong side of that. Starting off this campaign. There's Jeremy Breo that beats the pace car just barely, but you see the wounds on that car.
And the 74 is quite a strong machine, and it's not the start of season he wants. This is definitely one of his domains. We saw him win the A-Squared Cup Series Daytona race earlier in this year. We saw him finish 4th in the opening ABN shootout for race 100. So he even had a good dual race as well. So he's quite strong, and he just ended up getting involved in an incident. So he's going to have to try to just use these cautions as they come, or pit stop windows to fix on up. But he luckily at least beat the pace car here, so he'll buy himself some time at the very least.
Yeah, that is the that's kind of all you can hope for at this particular point in time. Unfortunately, a rough go of it for that 74, who having a really decent run in the ARCS A-Square Cup Series, just not seeing it translate here tonight.
That's the nature of the beast of these plate races. Sometimes you could be strong all through speed weeks, and then a mistake happens, and you're just a passenger at this point. But there's still long laps left. Again, if that car 74 can get fixed on up, maybe he'll have a chance to compete, or at the very least, if other cars start dropping, he can still rebound to get something nice. But as we're coming to the restart here, it's going to be Ryan and Height making up row 1, and Catania and Pressy making up row 2.
Coming to lap 10 of 120. It's a long race coming up. Green flag is back in the air, and away we go. Christina with a really good restart. And gets clear, jumps up with her friend on that outside lane. That outside lane treating Christina Ryan just right. So we're back underway.
You can't control much in these races, but at the very least, you want to work with the people you feel comfortable with. And Christina Ryan feels probably a lot more comfortable with that 11 car than she would with that 48 machine. But it's going to be a bit hard. She's going to have to try to hope maybe to clear or keep the momentum going on the high side. But Catania
and Taylor Mills, yeah, that was looking a little bit sketchy. But everyone's still trying to move forward, and Taylor Mills just trying to get to the front. But she's got to be careful. She's already been in a 1-3 situation and caused an accident. Definitely does not want to cause another. Causing avoidable collisions, a 50-point penalty per accident. And if it's a blocking penalty, it's 50 per car wrecked. So, big time chances to start the season off with negative points.
Yeah, especially in a place like this. That is not a good sight to see. Right now, though, I'm keeping an eye on this 48. It just doesn't seem that planted at the moment. A few cars I'm noticing, the 52 as well, seems to be a little bit struggling in this open and going here. A few cars dropping the back there. One's going to go to the back. But you can just see that 48 just a little squirrely in the corners, at least on opening restarts. So definitely something to keep a note on.
We're looking here in the back. Selena Ward, one of the debutantes, working with her teammate, James Gutta, both of them coming from the court side of things, the Court Cup Series. Coming over to race here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. You see Gutta there in the 86, Ward in the 26, kind of sitting. They've got a nice little pocket here. They're sitting 20th and 21st at the moment, which doesn't seem like a lot, but they're in a really good pocket. There's not a lot of pressure behind them. If we can pan this camera back a little bit, you can see there's a lot of space there. That's actually the 72 Olivia Hayward, who is sitting just behind. So really good company here for the newcomers here in ABN. Survived their first caution, and now they're kind of just riding here, seeing how things go.
And again, that's just the nature of the beast of these plate races. Some like to hang back, others like to be up there, and some are in the middle. And it's a relatively good pack because if she were to fall back, she'd have at least some support from behind to try to get back up. So it's a nice little place to be at the very least. But back up to the front here, you see as we get a good little side-by-side there for the line for lap 13. And it went to Ryan by a hair. But here's the main problem. Second or third in line, or fourth. Oh, 52 thinking about going low there. Gonna have to hold that thought, and he will go down here. Gonna get cut a break.
Just gonna kind of shout out something here. Last second entry, did not make the duels, was only expecting to do the road courses this season. Amity Pulsatrix in the 59, sitting third in line on the inside, started this race 38th in the field. Already up to fourth place. That 59 is charging at the moment as Catania takes the lead and moves high, and then moves back down low, stays in front of Taylor Mills. Keep it on the 59. That 59 surprisingly up front here. That's a really good place to be with that Ford.
Well, I will say is that they stayed out while a bunch of cars behind did pit, but that's still not taking the confidence. Yeah. They are holding it strong up front there and not letting the ability hold them down. So it's still a strong run. I don't want to take it away from that 59, but strategy got them up there, but they could have easily fallen back. But they are strong right now, holding that inside line down.
Right now, phenomenal job for those at the front of the field. Christina Ryan started this race second place, has led laps, leading the outside line. Catania has won once in ARC's competition. Helps really pilot the ship for the ARC Saturday Night Showdown competition that we broadcast. Him and Tommy Withers do a great job on Saturday nights. He's leading the way. Taylor Mills, Hybrid GTP race winner, sitting there on the inside lane in second. Pulsatrix, another Hybrid GTP race winner, but in the GT2 class. A lot of race winners up here. Christina Ryan, the 2022 world champion. There's Pressy, the 94. He's got 2 race wins in ABN competition.
You can't doubt the talent in this field. It's a mixture of a bunch of different series, but you got a lot of talent and a lot of different pedigrees of series and driving disciplines. And they're all just here to have some fun and try to bring home a good championship here in the AdminBoxx Cup Series. But right now, it's still the Ryan Catania show up front. And I don't think Height or Mills are really concerned with that at the moment. They feel comfortable, and there's no real reason to kick the hornet's nest, especially on lap 16.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because the 11 and the 41 are teammates for Taylor Mills Racing, and they're locking out that second row as Pulsatrix decides to drop back here. Pulsatrix is like, okay, I've had my fun. It's time to get backwards a little bit, and everyone's going to give her space. She's going to drop down to where it's a little bit safer in that back spot.
Yep, going to slot in just between the 23 of Withers, 66, right back there, 57. Oh, heard something on radio saying bad, but I think it may have been just a bad push there. But we stay clean, stay green.
Lap 17 underway. Logging down the laps. That is the 4 of Judith Cooper, who's staying on the apron, staying out of the way. She'll go a lap down. You see how bumpy that is? Be careful!
Oh!
Trying to keep it clean, just a little overcooked there.
That's a sketchy thing sometimes. Luckily, Judith Cooper doesn't end up causing any incidents there, but it's always sketchy in those moments when you think the speed difference isn't as big as you think it is, and you end up getting proved wrong.
Not even so much that, just remember, it is bumpier here. It's not it's not the current version of Daytona where it's a lot smoother and repaved. This was the track surface that was 30, 40 years old. So everything's bumpy, from the apron to the racing surface, even the entry to pit lane. All of it's bumpy, and all of it will catch you off if you're not ready for it. Luckily, everyone was able to adjust and adapt, and everyone gave space. Very good to see early on here, as everyone tries to sit into a rhythm. We're going to have two interesting philosophies here, slightly different pit strategies between those that are at the front of the field who haven't pit, and those that pit on lap 8 under the first caution of this race.
Cars that just maybe pitted. Emma Kruger's currently in the grass in the infield, trying to maybe make the pit stop, and looks like she missed, so she's going to have to... Yeah, you'll see right there, cutting through the Daytona sign.
She's got a big problem. She's perpendicular to the track.
Yeah, we need a caution, because
she's got it.
Coming out.
Caution's come out. There is a significant issue with that 70 machine. Kruger had a significant problem.
Yeah, she just towed back. I saw her coming out of the corner of my eye, coming down pit lane, slowing down, so I thought, odd time to make a pit stop. And then that happens. Very odd. Something must have disconnected, maybe a wheel problem.
Huge issues for Kruger, and that'll give Judith Cooper her lap back, I believe. I'll have to double check on that.
Man, just rewinding here. Almost got T-boned by, I think, Pinnell as well. Saw the talent in the replay there.
We're not going to see too often much here. This is obviously what we saw. Obviously, we see the issues, and we see what was left.
And then you're going to see that right there, that car. Yeah, because she slows down the pit lane, blinks, and then we see the ill effects at the end. But yeah, she's coming down normal pit road speed, and the thing just starts drifting right, and then just keeps going right.
Second caution of the night for a one-car issue.
And yep, and she's just taken behind the wall, so whatever it is terminal for that 70 machine.
Obviously, we'll have to see what's going on there with that 70. Hopefully we get an update on that soon, because that was a very dangerous position to be in.
Yeah, definitely unintentional. It's not something Emma Kruger would do. We've seen her through many series. She would not do that intentionally. But full field, again, this is actually a saving grace for our lead pack, as they were coming close to the pit stop window within 10 laps. And now they'll get a chance to come in, take their first service of the night. Don't want to miss your box, don't want to make a mistake, but if you are going to do it, this would be the time to do it now. Looks like a few cars are going to stay out, though, so the lead won't inherit directly, I think, to the first car coming out of the pit lane here.
A couple cars out of this race. And McCruger, the most recent retirement, I do believe, we'll have to double check here, but I believe Kruger is done.
Yeah, she is retired. She said, emergency, sorry y'all, everything's okay now. So whatever it is, it was definitely an emergency, but glad at least it's okay now for whatever the cause is.
So 4 cars out of this race. And McCruger, Lilac Zier, Ruby Acosta in pit lane still, trying to make up some spots, and Jeremy Breo also still in pit lane.
Some of those machines just trying to get fixed up here. Lead will, bearing another possible pit stop here on the second go-around, lead will inherit to Mills, with Polstrix going to line up on their outside.
This is going to be a very interesting front of the field. Two drivers still very much learning the stock car game. But they will lead this field to green.
Yep, going green next time by.
Polstrix will go to the outside lane. 39 cars started this race. 37 still in it so far, either in pit lane or on track.
Yep.
Taylor Mills, Amity Polstrix, front row. Then it's Tristan Catania and Alfred Denny. Christina Ryan and Cassandra Winkelbauer in row 3. Blake Henderson, Emily Howe, row 4. Callie Heights, Lena Thompson, row 5. John Hagan, Lily Pelletier Sharp, row 6. Caitlin Height, Josh Gaiman, row 7. Saucier and Selena Ward, row 8. James Gutta and Bobby Blowers in row 9. And Kevin Feemster and James Wright make up row 10.
So we'll show you. Find your favorite driver in that current field and root them on as we're on lap 21. Should be worth noting, though, as obviously caution laps will help save fuel. Even with this stop, it's still possible 3-stop here at the very least. Doing some quick calculations, possibly can make it on a 2, but we'll have to wait. 3-stop, but we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out here. But obviously, time will tell on that one. But we're coming to green. Basically going to take the hard left into the pit lane. Green flag in the air. And away we go for the next restart of the race. And a good jump there by the 41. As that 59 did not get as going as they would like to. As Denny's going to push the back of that 59, try to make up some of that time. But 41's going to have lane choice here. Will they elect to stay to the bottom or jump to the top?
Catania will move up high. Mills will stay on the bottom. We'll stay with Christina Ryan. Catania and Polstrix up in the top lane. And now Polstrix unfortunately boxed in. So if she's uncomfortable right now, it's not going to be a fun time. But really good company up here at the front of the field. There's Callie Height. There's Blake Henderson. There's
a lot you could learn off of.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of champions, a lot of race winners in this top 10 at the moment. Taylor Mills leads lap 22. And back to racing we go.
Two drivers I know that love to work together. That 17 of Denny, that 25 Blake Henderson. We got a 3-wide split in the back here. As you're going to see the 6 split the middle with the 83 in tow. And that's going to send the 59 to 17. They're going to send them to the back here as they're going to get trained 3 wide. So nowhere to go. They got boxed out, and now they're going to have to regroup farther back.
Field 3, and John Hagan drifting up as well. He's got a handful at number 52 for Jacob Shangle Racing. Oh, trouble! That's a car turned.
That's the 59, and that's going to be a few more cars collected.
Oh, that's a huge hit. Selena Thompson. James Gutt is in it. Selena Ward's in it. Bobby Blowers is in it.
No caution called yet. I think probably one should be called. Multiple cars.
There it is.
There we go.
Because a lot of it began off of the racing surface.
I wonder if just that uncomfortableness may have played a factor or a bad clear situation. We'll have to wait and see on replay.
That's a rough go of it here. A lot of cars went off track in this one.
So here's the replay.
And we're gonna get a different. And this is Selena Thompson that I believe comes up into the path of Polstrix here. You hit the chopper cam.
Yeah, that's gonna be more helpful at this angle. So yeah, keep that car, that blue and white machine in the middle there.
This is what we're looking at here. We're gonna pull this up. This is this is ground zero for this third caution of the race. We're going to play in slow motion. Thompson. Yeah, Thompson just kind of moves up there a little bit. Polstrix moves down a little bit to avoid hitting the wall, but Thompson moves up way more.
And then actually unrelated, Gaiman runs in the back of Sharp that sends the '07 spinning into the pit lane. And that was the second incident of this. So they almost have it saved. It looks like we'll be okay. And then 66 of Thompson is going to get sent down, and Sharp nowhere to go, along with that car that ricochets her into the grass. And it just kind of then some cars try to make it through. One hook there for the 86, I should say. And at that point, just scramble, try to find a hole to make it through. Or try to get on the brakes. There's our pole sitter, the 20. Riley Wright. Big lick there. So 2 out of 3 of our incidents so far in this race have been what goes against what you think what trends would be. Usually you see wrecks in the middle to the front of the pack, and the incidents that have happened in the back, where cars usually drop back to play it safe. And a good amount of cars that have been playing that back strategy, it hasn't worked out quite well.
A lot of cars to pit lane for that one.
You're right there. That's the 40 getting one of their laps back.
A lot of cars involved in that one.
Looking through some of the chatter of the drivers. 17 had a great wreck avoidance there, at least from one eye in the sky. Olivia Hayward reporting the car is a bit broke, but it seems to be relatively okay. So we'll see if how much that affects the performance of this machine. We also got a current poll going on in the chat for an over or under for how many yells, 9.5. Currently, overs are winning. I still have confidence, though. I think we will go under 9.5, but maybe I'm a bit naive in that belief.
Several cars trying to get as many repairs done as possible. That's what pit exit looks like as you see the field rolling across start finish line here.
Yep, Briley Wright will beat the pace car just barely, so will that 86 machine as well. We got the one to green here.
Leaves us with, I believe, 29 or 30 cars on the lead lap. Actually, it may leave us a lot more than that. I'm seeing
a bit more than that too, if my calculations are correct. I think we got 31 on the lead lap. So anyway, pace car going to come in this time by. It's going to be Mills, Ryan, Catania, Henderson, Winklebauer, Height, Hagen, Howe, Height, Gaiman, your top 10 here.
Gonna be a very interesting one here. Pace car pulls off for the third restart of the night. Green flag in the air. Not a lot of help for Taylor Mills. Christina Ryan getting a lot of help from Blake Henderson on that outside line.
Mm-hmm.
And away we go.
Winklebauer going to move to the high groove. Going to leave even less momentum for that inside line, as Hagen's a little bit far away to help. So it could allow Ryan and maybe even Henderson to jump down if they so choose before that 52 can help them push. Or aggressively come close, I guess you can say. Inside line finally going to get going here off 3 and 4. We'll ride on board here with Blake Henderson. You see how bumpy it is. That car, very, very bumpy. Henderson just going to push lightly, but don't push to the corners. Leave a little bit of space.
Blake Henderson, 3-time race winner in HTL Cup Series competition, including one at Talladega. Still looking for his first in ABN. And you look behind, that's all from the mirror. But Blake Henderson's number 25, and there's a lot of shuffling around going on.
You always have to look through the mirror, especially in this these plate racing environments, to check the lines, listen to the spotter. But it's always a bit sketchy when you do, as you can see Catania go a little low there. And still be clean, no track position gained. Definitely struggling to keeping that car planned at the moment. It was a hit lap 30.
Still side by side, it's Taylor Mills and Christina Ryan. Mills in the 41, Ryan the 80. Leading the lines, sports car ace and ABN's defending world champion.
See a good push there by Henderson to get Ryan a bit clear. Well, that inside line going to follow right back up suit. It's basically 2-2-2-2 pretty much for the first 5-6 rows back. No true line has that much of an advantage. It's going to be who gets a little bit more disorganized or who can't stay close. But at least the one positive is if you're pushing someone or you're riding behind someone, you want them to be stable. You want them to hold it as best they can. And when looking, some are doing that quite well. Christina Ryan comes to mind, but others, they're struggling a little bit to keep that car pointed straight, which can always affect a bit of the line here. It's hit lap 32. Still Ryan and Mills. And everyone's just kind of comfortable riding here for the moment, just playing the strategies here as we still got many laps left here.
We've just crossed the quarter-way mark.
Yeah.
So, these drivers are in for a long haul. I'm just going to show you, same thing, we're going to show you a timer here on the leaderboard here. 2 hours, 26 minutes, that's how much time they have left to complete a little less than 90 laps. They should have plenty of time. But obviously, the first quarter of this race has been a little bit hectic as everyone tries to find and fit into a rhythm. First time all 39 cars have been on track at the same time. Some teething pains for a few drivers have thrown them out of contention. The rest of the field, up near the front, remain as they are. Keep an eye on Josh Gaiman. You want proof that just because you get damaged and the race isn't over? Josh Gaiman was involved in the very first accident and is back in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. That's worth keep digging, keep fighting, never give up, always believe in yourself. Because it can always turn around on a dime. The next thing you know, you could be back up there. Keep fighting, because at the very least, especially with the chase system, you never know. Every point matters.
There's a second pack here that's developed. It's 20th on down. Judith Cooper, Selena Ward, James Wright, James Gutta, Matthew Kent's in this group, Stephen Upperstat's in this group. There's a lot of drivers in this secondary pack here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 distinct packs going on in this race at the moment.
And that's a lot of those drivers in that second pack are the drivers that ran back a lot during the heat races and even the 100th race in-house showdown as well. Matthew Kent comes to mind. It worked out quite well because he was in that back pack during Duel 2, and he was able to come up to 4th. So it is a good strategy sometimes to ride back, but the downside is if we go caution-free or get a situation for a long break for another caution, it can really put you in a bad spot. So there's a risk and there's a reward, but the saving grace obviously is if there's an accident while they're racing up front, you got plenty of time to woe it down and get back on the brakes before you end up plowing into it. And they're currently about 10 seconds back of race lead.
There's a lot of wounded cars in that group as well, so they're not going to be quick by merit here. But they're in a group of... It's a group of like-minded individuals at this point in time. Get to the next pit stop window, which at this point will be anywhere from lap 50 to lap 65.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 50 to 55, excuse me.
Yep, because majority of the field pitted under that last caution. Mm-hmm. But obviously, yeah, 50-55. Some did come in under the third, so bit of a mixed bag strategies, but most cars going to come in and try to get back on sequence with each other. But some will try to stretch it long.
Christina Ryan still preferring that outside lane. Henderson still working with her. Same with Callie Height in the 66. It's the tale of two Heights. Callie and Caitlin, both of them in the top 10 at the moment. Callie sitting currently abreast of her partner. Callie sitting on the inside. Oh, sorry. Caitlin sitting on the inside lane, the number 11. Let's see if we can ride on board with her for a second. We'll go on board with the helmet cam with Caitlin Height. Give you a really good bird's eye view of what it's like racing in the pack here at Daytona.
Yeah, these moments right now, it's a situation where it's a bit more relaxed, as obviously we're kind of getting close to that halfway point. We're in the early still stages of the race, so it's not over excellent for people trying to make moves and push. But if we cut to this helmet cam, let's say on lap 100, it's going to be quite a different situation trying to finesse that car as you got to keep the mirror and watch your lines. But right now, I would have called it a Sunday drive, but it's a bit easier than in other situations, at the very least.
Ebb and flow. A lot of cars trying to move to the bottom. The bottoms were... If you're okay with just riding, the bottoms where you're going to want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Christina Ryan and Blake Henderson separated for just a second there. But Taylor Height was also kind of separated from Catania. Henderson and Catania, no love lost between those two from the duels last week.
Yep.
A war of words exchanged between the 25 and the 48. And you saw there a little bit of side drafting from the 41. Gonna pull the 41 clear.
Again, be an interesting twist to fate if both drivers have to work together to try to win this race.
Christina Ryan led that lap. We're approaching lap 40. A lot of work going on here.
One car I want to point out right there is that 21 of Kevin Feemster. He started from the pit lane, started in the back, and now he's up there just inside the top 10. He's definitely good at driving in restricted plates, and especially at super speedways, and he's showing it here now. Definitely someone to watch out in the A-Square Cup Series, and now he's riding good. We got 3 wide there in the situation.
Henderson got
3 wide
up to the wall.
Yep. Henderson taps it just a bit. Taylor Mills coming in.
Oh, no. Gaiman trying to force it 4.
Oh, that's a bump. Henderson's going to bump the 2. And that's going to be an accident involved. Feemster involved.
Toby Estes involved.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just unnecessary from Josh Gaiman.
Shades of Duel 2 again. Bit of over-aggression for that 61. I still kind of want to know why the 41 took service there, but must have been pit stop time because we're at 40, so probably stretch the tank as well. So going to be a lucky break for that 41, but not for others. So take back the live action. You can just see.
Yeah, I don't know what Gaiman was thinking there. Like, even in the drivers' meeting. You have to be careful, and we're on board with him here. You're going to see the gap isn't ever really on. It's never on.
Yep. Right into Henderson the 2. It's just over-aggression. That's all you can really say on that. I think a couple good cars. At least one car is going to be out of this race. Car is terminally damaged.
Yeah, Ruby Acosta, number 40 machine, trying to sit through repairs, but that is a lot of repairs. Lil Peltier Sharp, her race is also done. Same with Emma Kruger, Lilac Sear, who was starting in parking, and Jeremy Brave taken out in the first accident.
It fits the nature of the call of Daytona. At the end of the day, you could have the strongest car and the fastest machine, and you may end up being an unlucky accident. And at the end of the day, it rewards patience, but it also rewards talent, and also rewards a little bit of luck. As we're seeing some pit stops occur here, Christina Ryan going to stay out. Interesting, as most of the field is going to jump in to take service here on lap 40. Obviously, she's probably another 15 laps away, obviously a bit more because of the current caution situation. So she can make it longer, and in turn, it's going to give her more of an option in her playbook to make this work, especially if we get another incident before she has to pit. And Taylor Mills as well will luck out because they took service as the caution was occurring, so did not go a lap down, and they will line up in second position. But Caitlin Height going to be the first car out of pit lane. Will be slotting in P3 and the number 66 machine. So all things change, all things stay the same. At the very least, we're going to see more of the 80-41 show up front, at least in the short term.
Christina Ryan, Taylor Mills, Callie Height, Tristan Catania, Olivia Hayward, Chris Constantinu sitting up in 6th now after that round of pit stops. Then it's Caitlin Height. It looks like Catania may have had a speeding penalty. Or something happened to Catania.
I think he said cold tires on his radio, so maybe a spin.
Yeah, saw a little bit of smoke there on the back straightaway.
Yes, I think he had a slight little moment to himself here. Just quickly rewind the tape here to see.
He will get a spot back here, so he will be in front of everyone up to...
Yeah, he was ahead of Hayward coming out, so should be Hayward on up. Well, everyone behind Hayward.
Yep.
Yeah, just went back and looked. Spun it coming out of the pit road exit there. Out of 2 coming up speed. Didn't hit anything. Didn't impede anyone. Just a bit of a egg on face moment. Happens to everyone at least once. So no real effect for that 48 though. So we're 1 to green here. It's going to be, like I said, not everything changed. Everything stays the same. It's going to be Christina Ryan and Taylor Mills front row with Olivia Hayward, I should say, and Catania in row 2. They haven't said much Olivia Hayward yet. Then you got row 3 making up Caitlin Height and Chris Constantinu. Row 4 is going to be made up of Cassandra Winkelbauer and John Hagen. And then the last row 5 is going to be made of Joshua Gaiman and Selena Ward. So as we're coming here, we're going to be 17 to halfway. As pace car is going to take the hard left into the pit lane here. And green flag in the air. And away we go. Look at that big space on the outside line. 57 did not get going. That's going to really affect Taylor Mills in the high line, at least in the short term here. You see Hayward going to jump high. You can see already 3 wide in the back there. The 57's going to be split. Oh, Gaiman on 6 got loose, and that's going to send it to the 57. That's going to be our next caution of the night. Height, Gaiman, Beckett in the back as well. Multiple cars. This is the big one. And you see the 42 at David Wright barrel rolling through the infield grass.
That's a mess.
You could say that again. That's 100% a mess here. Multiple cars that are involved. Some are done. Some will have bad damage. Others could continue. But it's just, it looked like netcode. May have been a bad tap. We'll have to take a look at the replay to truly figure that out again, as see a true breakdown. But it looked like 2 separate incidents to me at the very least. So take a look at the replay here, and you're just going to see it. It kind of comes up just a bit, and you're just going to see the net code occur. So we'll slow it down here.
So Josh Gaiman's forced at 3 wide again.
Mm-hmm.
Kalen Height drifts up. It's not really on Josh Gaiman there, but that's giant net code between Height and Finkelbauer.
Mm-hmm. And then Winkelbauer gets sent hard way to the right into the 57. And then they all start checking up, try to avoid it. And that's where our second accident occurs. And then you can see right there, Gaiman gets hooked by the 57 and the 6. 57 comes down in the Pressy. And you can just see the second accident. It looks like a
the second checkup is huge here.
Mm-hmm. Henderson almost made it through. Did not. Yeah, 83 involved. Ryan Pinnell. Multiple cars there. You can see a lot of cars coming down here for service on lap 46. And right now, looking out, I got 7 cars that elected not to pit there. And Christina Ryan just disconnected. So guess she is done for the day. Yeah, Christina got to run.
I don't know if Christina was involved in it or not.
No, she wasn't. She said she had to leave, I think. So she's done in this race. She'll be back later, according to this. So that's going to hand the lead over to the 41 of Mills. So 7 cars stayed out, obviously including Ryan, but now Ryan's gone. So it's Mills, Catania, Hayward, Height of the 66. Hagan, Ward, and Denny all stayed out. Wither's going to be the first one to come out of pit lane. He'll slide in P8. And then you got Briley Wright and I think Rudy Valentine as well. They're going to catch up here, but the rest of the cars, 11th on down, all still in pit lane at the moment. Some are getting to leave now. Kem Feemster's pulled behind the wall. He is done for the day. Because both cars are going to just get out here. It's going to be a race for the pace car, I should say. See the rest of the field come out. 57 is going to be the last one to beat it. Actually, the 07. Should be worth noting, since a lap was not made, we are having a single file restart here, so do not adjust your sets. We are going single file here, at least for this restart. Listening to radio chatter, you can hear different reports of damage. Some having minutes, about a minute worth of damage repairs still left. Others having 3 minutes. Some having 5. It's a quite mixture of damage on some of these machines. Some not having engine damage. Some are having engine damage. So it's quite a mixed bag. I'll have to wait and see how it plays out. David Wright's only car is still on pit lane. As you can see, the rest of the pack trying to get up here. They will catch up here